Hey guys, it's Woody the Unexceptional Gamer, bringing you a game of Team Deathmatch on Convoy. So if you're on the Xbox, this is the second most recent map pack. If you're not on the Xbox, then it's the most recent map pack out. I'm sure the new one will be available soon. Usually it takes them about a month to push them through. But as you may have come to expect, I rarely talk about the gameplay. Sometimes I do, but not this time. This time I'm talking about my trip to the Billionaires Challenge. So if you're not familiar with it, this billionaire called out, I guess about 6 of us, and said he'd like to see us come play Call of Duty. We did our thing. X-Jaws won, Wings of Redemption got second place, and the way it was scheduled, like put together, they kind of took the winners and had them match up against each other. So there really weren't any places beyond that, but whatever. I practiced Madden going into it, which is the game we were going to play, and we ended up playing Black Ops, and that's unfortunate. But whatever, those guys were great, and it was a good time. I got to meet a bunch of new guys I hadn't met before, and you know what? I actually met Wings of Redemption in real life for the first time. You know, for as much as I've worked with him, for as much as I've talked to him, played with him, etc., I had never actually met him in real life, and he's only one state away from me, and that was pretty eye-opening. The Wings of Redemption that I met in real life was different than the Wings of Redemption that I've met online so many times. In real life, he was, I guess I'll say that he was sensitive. He was thoughtful, sweet almost. You know, not the guy who can be harsh online from time to time, and that was kind of neat to see. I actually really like Wings of Redemption. I liked him before, mostly for the tastes of the taste. Wow, that got really gay. You know, for the occasional emergence of the real life Wings of Redemption that's there all the time, and it's funny, you know, he gives love and sex advice on Painkiller already sometimes. And, sometimes we take it as funny, like, oh yeah, long fingernails, the scratching, the this and that. And, but like, I heard him he talked in real life, and he gave really great advice. You know, he's like giving flowers. He's like, oh yeah, you got to get your woman flowers. Have them deliver them to her at work. They love it. And it's not even about how expensive the flowers are. It's about the fact that she got flowers in front of everybody. And this is stuff that he's actually doing. And, it's like, you know what? Wings of Redemption make a pretty good boyfriend. That's top-notch stuff right there. So, yeah, it was neat to meet Wings, and he was really a good guy. I met another person on this trip too, and he was a stranger. So on my flight home, I don't know, I picked up some Raisinets, and the guy next to me turned out to be a big fan of Raisinets, and I don't know, we got to talking, and I gave him most of my Raisinets, which, you know, was no big deal. They're just freaking chocolate-covered raisins, if you're unfamiliar with them. But he was going through a hard time, and at first, like, we were just joking around and stuff. They gave the little safety lecture, and he was so grateful for the candy that he said that he would put that air mask that drops from the roof of the plane on me before himself, just to make sure that that the provider of Raisinets made it through okay. and that was funny to me. But then we got to talking some more, and he said that I guess his girlfriend and he were having some sort of trouble, and the reason that he was on the plane is he was kind of running away from the situation, that he needed to to clear his head and to get away. And it just, where he wasn't working for him. So it turns out that they had been together for 8 years. That he and his girlfriend had a 6-year-old daughter. So that's that's a pretty serious relationship. And I didn't ask what happened or how it went down, but the clues started to emerge. He had just put her through nursing school. And, as she left nursing school, she got into a new environment that she wasn't in before. And then in this new environment, she started getting attention from other men. And one in particular, I don't think that they meant for it to happen, but they just spent, day after day together working, nights and stuff like that, like nurses often do. And, I'm just listening to this sort of thing and providing, I don't know what to say. Like, I had 2 friends at work who recently went through a divorce. So I I talked about their experiences because I talked to them a lot, and at one point he's like, I'm sure it's just lust, I'm sure that she doesn't love him, and it came across as if he were trying to convince himself of that, and I don't know if it's true or not. It very well maybe, but like for me, like I've never been in that situation. I'm not sure it's just lust would be all that consoling for me, right? Like, lusting, look, that implies that she had sex with another guy, right? That would be pretty, I can't get this guy. That would be pretty hard for me to take. And, where do you go from there? Like, it's the visual image, it would be hard for me to let go of. And, he was in this same spot, clearly struggling with it. And, as much as I tell my wife, like, look, everyone deserves a second chance except you. What would you do, right? Like, do you just walk away? You might. Like, I could see that as a reasonable course of action. Or, do you try to work it out? It's a lot to throw away. There's a kid. There's a potential life on the other side of this thing. By life, I mean like lifestyle. Like there's a potential happy ever after, even with this bump of the road that a lot of people recover from. And, but I'm not sure I'd be one of those guys that could recover from it. He's in a really tough spot, and I felt for him. And I don't know, it's kind of interesting, the people you meet on the plane and how you can open up to strangers, and how that kind of works. So yeah, he was from Arkansas, and he was staying with grandparents, which is why he was on the flight, so that he could just sort of remove himself from the situation. And one thing that I kind of picked up during the conversation was that he wanted to put it back together, and she didn't. And she was the cheater, right? So that was kind of eye-opening too. Like she's the one that had this bad behavior, and she kind of decided to let him go, and doesn't want him back. And wow, what a bummer that would be. As we parted ways, he kept giving me these instructions. He's like, here's what I want you to do tonight. When your wife picks you up from the airport, I want you to kiss her passionately hard and let her know that you love her. And I was like, all right, I can do that. And he's like, I want you to take her to a restaurant, a place that she loves going and you don't. And these were like the regrets he had from his relationship, things that he wished he had done more. And I agreed to do both, even though in reality, my wife ended up choosing a restaurant that we both liked, because that's how she's built. And so I carried out his promises the best way I could. And I gave him the end of my Raisinets, and I said goodbye. And I hope he does well, but it was kind of eye-opening for me. So that's today's commentary. And here's the part where I talk about two other videos, maybe something you'll like. The first one is FPS Russia and White Boy 7th Street discussing the creative process for his latest dolphin dive video. I guess not his latest, now he's jumped off a pool. But it's pretty funny. It's from the paintball trip, and they're there sort of brainstorming about what he's going to do this time to make it better than his previous dolphin dives. The bottom one is a video, it's from Mail Monday, and the first topic was my favorite one, where he talks about parents having sex and what he should do about it. And I go in and discuss, my own parental sex adventures. And I thought it came out pretty well. Look at this, a video in a video. It's like Inception. So it was pretty good. And I also talk about competitive gaming, playing with some other YouTubers and porn stars on PKA and stuff like that. So pick a video. I hope that you enjoy them, and have a nice day.